As already been stated, lack of information, education among our people in the Cordilleras is still one of the serious problems that we are going to tackle as far as our dream for autonomy is concerned. While the surveys presented had been done in 2007, I think this is still the serious concern that we must have to tackle. And those facts that have been brought out by those surveys must be addressed if we like that we will have a chance, of course, to have an autonomy law that will be ratified by our own people. The next agenda, therefore, that we have to tackle is how can we agree with the guiding principles that we have to follow or standard qualifications that we have to follow to ensure that at least it is sellable to our own people during a period of privacy. As we all know, the idea, and we now go to the idea behind the constitutional provision, the right to create, of course, an autonomous region is, as we all know, clearly stated in Section 15, Article 10 of the Constitution, as we have is now flashed in front. While it says, go back to that one. While it says that if you look at this provision, it says there shall be created autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao and in the Cordilleras, and so on and so forth. It's only, as we all know, Muslim Mindanao that is able to take advantage of the provision of the Constitution, because as far as the Cordillera is concerned, after 27 years, we are still talking of yan na nga, the autonomy. This is still a dream that is still a big challenge to which every one of us. As we all know, the idea behind the constitutional provision for autonomous region is to allow the separate developments of these areas, Muslim Mindanao as well as the Cordilleras. The need for regional autonomy is more pressing to these two areas. The reason, because even the national government admits that the development of these two areas had been neglected in the past, and we are behind compared with the other regions in the country. The only legal justification that more budgetary allocations and attention will be given to these two regions is to extend to them autonomous status. Because we can just dream for a regional region. But if that will be the situation, then you cannot ask for more benefits in budgetary allocations that are not given to the other regions of the country. We must be treated equally with the other regions. Therefore, I repeat, the only legal justification that the national government can give more attention and budgetary allocation to these two regions in order for them to catch up with the other regions of the country is to extend to them autonomous status. As we all know, and as already been mentioned, our status at present under EO 220 is still temporary. Look at the decision even in the case filed by our good friend, Attorney Atitew et al., which was decided by the Supreme Court September 30 of 2005. The Supreme Court clearly stated that which is attached to your folder. The Supreme Court clearly stated that our region is existing preparatory to autonomy. If we have not achieved autonomy, then the danger of disintegration, as already touched also a while ago, for some of us to go back to region 1 and 2 continue to exist. So, there we are. Then, of course, we are happy that our president now, si Apo Pinoy, is very sympathetic for us to achieve autonomy. He said the incumbent president is sympathetic to the common desire of the peoples of the Cordilleras to be immediately granted meaningful participation in the conduct of their affairs in order to enable them to prepare for regional autonomy. So, to the credit of his mother, it was, we all know, President Cory Aquino who signed Executive Order 220 when she was exercising extraordinary legislative power under that revolutionary government that formed our own region, which we repeat, preparatory to autonomy.